Gu Qing Ci married into the imperial family, becoming the primary consort of Prince Regent Xiao Yan Zhi. Everyone knows that the prince only cares for his side consort Lin Wan Tang. But this daughter of the Grand Tutor values her life too much to waste it. She plans every move carefully, turning her enemy's strength against themselves in a seemingly impossible game of chess. She turns her enemy's blades into her own stepping stones. While everyone thought she was just a weak and incompetent primary consort, she had already taken control of the entire prince's manor. As a legitimate daughter raised in a prestigious family, I was never taught the petty sentiments of a sheltered girl. Music, chess, calligraphy, and painting were just a facade for the public. My grandmother personally taught me to navigate the traps of palace etiquette. My father showed me the web of interest in the imperial court. And even my mother taught me how to hide a blade behind a smile. They made it clear I was destined to enter the imperial family. If I couldn't handle the schemes of the inner court, how could I be worthy of being an imperial daughter-in-law? And how could I protect my family's glory? So you see, dealing with a mere concubine is for me as easy as lifting a finger. If you were just a helpless orphan, staying quietly in your corner, I wouldn't even spare you a glance. But you insist on occupying my husband's heart, insisting that the respect he owes me should all be given to you. That is where you are wrong. I don't just want my husband's respect. I want power I can hold in my hands and leverage to stabilize my family. And all of that depends on me being his top priority. As for my husband's true heart, I saw through it long ago. Imperial affection never outweighs the balance of interests. I flatter him. He grants me honor. We each get what we need. This is the most secure way to coexist. Since you stand in the way of the stability and power I seek, then getting rid of you is naturally nothing to feel guilty about. I am the legitimate daughter of Grand Tutor Gu. I've known since I was a child that I would be an imperial bride. As for which prince it would be, I never really thought about it. Out of all the princes, why was I assigned to the third prince? For no other reason than the fact that the whole city knows he has a side consort who is the apple of his eye. Even if the position of primary consort is mine, I have never been one to tolerate rivals. So the war is about to begin. Inside the bridal chamber, the dazzling red silk carpet seems endless. But as the bride, I am calm and composed, without a trace of joy or nervousness. My father is the Grand Tutor, who studied alongside the emperor in his youth. His disciples are everywhere in the government. My maternal grandfather's family once held the high rank of general of chariots and cavalry. My uncles still hold military power, guarding the borders. So I knew from a young age that I was destined for the imperial family. I was raised according to palace rules, mastering music, chess, calligraphy, and painting. But what surprised me was that I was to marry the Prince Regent Xiao Yan Zhi. People say the imperial family is heartless, but Xiao Yan Zhi is a rare, devoted man. In all his years at the manor, he had no concubines and no intimate partners, only one side consort, Lin Wan Tang. He originally intended to make her his primary consort, but she came from the streets. Not only was her behavior crude, she ignored etiquette, and she was even illiterate. Xiao Yan Zhi is the most favored prince. His mother was the Empress Dowager's niece, the late Empress. As the legitimate son, the Emperor and the Empress Dowager would certainly never allow him to marry such a woman as his primary consort. Later, Xiao Yan Zhi knelt outside the hall for 3 days and nights, just to secure the position of side consort for her. They share a deep bond, but the side consort has not had a child in 5 years. The Empress Dowager naturally wouldn't stand by and watch her favorite grandson remain without an heir, under great pressure. And also to protect that woman, Xiao Yan Zhi finally agreed to the arranged marriage, and so I became the one who broke up the happy couple. Since this is my fate, I will naturally take control of it. rather than letting fate control me. Now I sit in the bridal chamber. The moon hangs high outside. The festive dragon and phoenix candles are half burnt. My maid Molin speaks softly, breaking the silence. Miss, it's already late at night. It's all right, let's wait a bit longer. Before Molin could finish, footsteps were heard outside. Then came the sound of the door opening, accompanied by a cold breeze and the smell of wine. A pair of black boots embroidered with gold clouds approached from a distance, finally stopping in front of me. All of you dismiss. The maids obeyed and left. Soon silence returned to the room. After a moment, those boots walked toward me. The bridal veil was gently lifted. First I saw a firm waist, then broad shoulders. A pair of peach blossom eyes that should have been full of emotion were now staring at me coldly. Your Highness, we spoke in unison. I understand. Your Highness only has the side consort in your heart. I will keep to my place and spend the rest of my life in my own courtyard. But tonight, please endure for a moment, so that I do not lose my dignity. After saying that, I looked up, holding back tears, and gazed at Xiao Yan Zhi. He frowned, seeming to hesitate. Forget it. Get up first. I will stay until dawn before I leave. Thank you, Your Highness. I stood up and walked to the bed, picked up the white silk cloth, took a gold hairpin from my hair, and pricked my finger. Several blood-red plum blossoms immediately bloomed on the cloth. You didn't have to do that. I should have been the one to do it. His voice carried a hint of guilt. Your Highness is of noble status. How could I let you be injured? The night is long. Why don't we play a game of chess? Very well. I asked Molin to prepare the chessboard. I had only said it in passing, but I didn't expect us to be so evenly matched. For a while the game was a stalemate. As the sky began to brighten, a servant's voice came from outside, saying the side consort was sleeping fitfully and kept calling for the prince. Xiao Yan Zhi immediately got up and left, without giving me a single glance, or leaving a single word. Miss the prince. This is just too much. Silence. You must not question the prince. I stopped her in time. Help me change. I'm going to rest. The prince won't be coming back tonight. Since the day Xiao Yan Zhi left, I haven't seen him for half a month. By right, on the second day of the wedding, the side consort should have come to serve tea, but she never appeared. However, the household management rights were handed to me the next day. The manor was full of news about them. Yesterday, the prince took her to the outskirts for an outing. Today, the prince accompanied her to catch butterflies in the garden. Tomorrow, the prince is taking her boating on Wayman Lake. Such news poured into my ears incessantly. Let them spread whatever they want. I remain unmoved. I kept my promise from the wedding night, and never interfered with their relationship. You must know that fruit must rot from the inside, to rot completely. If I can win without shedding blood, why fight to the death? Molin, is the task I gave you finished? Don't worry, princess. It has been arranged. A month passed quietly. Every day, after handling the manor's affairs, I would sit in my small courtyard and drink tea, paint or practice calligraphy. I could stay patient, but some people couldn't. One day, when the weather was fine, I was copying a calligraphy script in my room. Suddenly, a commotion came from outside the courtyard. My kite fell in the tree. I'm going to get it. The courtyard door was pushed open, surrounded by several nannies and maids. A woman in a bright red dress barged in. She made a scene in my courtyard, ordering my maids to get the kite for her. How dare you? Who are you? Montag. I spoke up to stop her. I put down my brush, smoothed the wrinkles on my skirt, and walked out slowly. The woman in red didn't bow when she saw me. Instead, she looked me up and down. So you're Gu Qing Ci? Molin frowned, wanting to scold her for me. I raised my hand to stop her and smiled slightly. Indeed, I presume you must be Sister Wan Tang. Xiao Yan Zhi likes her lack of discipline and her unrestrained nature. I naturally cannot go against his wishes. I looked up at the kite in the tree and told Molin to send someone to get it. Lin Wan Tang seemed surprised by my attitude until I handed him the kite. He didn't say a word. When he took the kite, he tilted his chin up slightly, defying me by saying Xiao Yan Zhi was his. He said his heart only belonged to me. Even if he married you, he would only treat you as a housekeeper. I smiled and remained silent. He waited for a moment, seeing that I didn't react. He felt bored, snorted coldly, and turned to leave. In the silence of the courtyard, not a single person dared to speak. I looked at Molin's worried expression, but I didn't care. No rush, I will personally send him a grand gift. Even if he is rude to me, even if he overstepped by wearing the bright red only a primary wife can wear, even if he spoke harshly to me, none of that matters. I am a virtuous and kind primary wife. Naturally, I can't do anything to ruin my image. People shouldn't be compared. Once there is a comparison, there are levels. If I weren't humble, how could I highlight his arrogance? Molin, it's time to pull in the net. Yes, princess. After this incident, everyone in the manor knew the princess regent was no longer weak and incompetent. Suddenly, everyone in the manor began to move. Many were currying favor with the secondary consort. Since ancient times, people loved to jump on the bandwagon, but few helped those in need. Taking advantage of this situation, I struck while the iron was hot and cleared out the restless people in the manor. Those who weren't loyal to me, naturally could not stay. A month later, the weather grew cooler. Early autumn is my favorite season. In such perfect weather, good news makes it even more fitting. On this day, a nanny from the Empress Dowager's palace arrived, specifically summoning the secondary consort to serve the sick. I saw them to the manor gate. The nanny turned and bowed to me. Your Highness, no need to see us out. Please go back inside. The secondary consort gave me a provocative smile, as if he had won a great deal over me. I returned a faint smile. This is just the beginning. How can he be so smug already? Once the secondary consort left, it was for 3 days. I heard the prince went to see the Empress Dowager every day, but was refused. That evening, the manor suddenly became lively. The secondary consort's courtyard was brightly lit. I heard the prince carried the fainted consort back. All night long, there were sounds of crying, cursing, and shattering cups. Quite a scene. I kept my doors tightly shut, pretending I couldn't hear a thing. The following evening, I was in my nightgown at the vanity, removing my hairpins. The sound of the maid's greetings came from behind me. Xiao Yan Zhi had arrived. Everyone, dismiss. This was the second time I'd seen Xiao Yan Zhi since our wedding night. His face was slightly pale, with faint dark circles under his eyes, and his brow was furrowed tightly. Your Highness. I rose to greet him, bowing my head slightly. The collar of my loose silk robe slipped down, revealing a small patch of fair skin on my chest. I stood up slowly. The gauzy silk robe was form-fitting but not tight. Under the flickering lamplight, it was a case of now you see it, now you don't. There was a moment of daze in Xiao Yan Zhi's eyes. After all, my title as the #1 beauty in the capital was never unearned. I took the initiative to step forward, took his hand, and pressed it to my face. Your Highness, you don't need to say anything. I understand everything. To ease your worries, Qing Ci is willing to do anything.
Qing Ci, I'm sorry.
I shook my head and proactively untied his belt, then blew out the red candles. The next morning, the space beside me was already empty. Half of the bedding had long since gone cold. Mullen helped me dress. I wasn't disappointed at all. Once it happens once, it will happen again. The days ahead are long. Can wait. But someone else can't. Just as I finished breakfast, a servant came to report that the secondary consort had arrived. This time he had learned his lesson. He didn't dare barge into my courtyard. I had him invited in. As soon as he entered, I met his bloodshot eyes. He didn't sit, but just clenched his fists. He snapped at me, "Don't get too smug. If it weren't to save my brother, Xiao Yan Zhi would never have touched you." I widened my eyes at the right moment. Tears quickly filled my eyes. I hurriedly pulled out a handkerchief to cover my face. I was afraid if I was too slow, I wouldn't be able to hide the smile on my lips. Seeing me like this, Lin Wan Tang seemed quite satisfied. He snorted, turned and left. Holding the handkerchief, I wiped away the non-existent tears from the corners of my eyes. I tossed the handkerchief aside, sat at the vanity, and carefully checked if I had ruined today's makeup. The nanny from the Empress Dowager's side had sent word 2 days ago, so I knew all along that Xiao Yan Zhi would come last night. Besides, I was the one who designed all of this. How could I not know? Lin Wan Tang has no parents, but he has a brother who is the only heir to the Lin family line. His brother Lin Wenyuan is a spoiled, good-for-nothing loafer. He can't carry a sword, nor can he lift a finger. Usually he just lived off others at home. His parents and sister earned money to support him. After his parents passed, he relied on his sister's street performances to survive. Who knew that once they struck it rich, and his sister caught Xiao Yan Zhi's eye, his status would rise as well. Xiao Yan Zhi not only bought him a house, but knowing he was incompetent, also gave him 3 of the most profitable shops. He only needed to collect the money to live a life without worries and enjoy his later years. But once a person becomes wealthy, many so-called friends will proactively flock to them, inviting you to a brothel today and a gambling den tomorrow. From then on, drinking, gambling, and womanizing. Lin Wenyuan did it all. Small bets are for fun, and originally weren't a big deal. But gambling dens have plenty of ways to make people addicted. Just depends on whether they want to fleece you. My brother, Gu Qing Ci, is the Vice Minister of Revenue, in charge of taxes and levies. It's safe to say that among the merchants in the capital, no one doesn't want to be on good terms with him. Those who run gambling dens are shrewd. With just a slight hint from my brother, the big boss knew exactly what to do. When Lin Wenyuan first entered the gambling den, he won and lost in equal measure, so he wasn't that interested. Recently, however, he had been winning for half a month straight. Once a person gets a taste of success, they naturally want more. So Lin Wenyuan's bets got bigger, and he won more and more. He gradually became overconfident, actually believing he was a god of gamblers who couldn't lose. In the end, he actually dared to bet his entire fortune, wanting to win big. The result was predictable. He lost everything until he was bankrupt, and even ended up deep in gambling debt. The debt collectors came to his door. He exhausted his family wealth and sold all his property to pay off the debt. Things had ended there. It wouldn't have been too late if he could have stopped. But after losing so much money, who could be satisfied? Lin Wenyuan always thought about making a comeback one day. Unfortunately, he had no capital, so his fair-weather friends gave him an idea. Isn't your brother-in-law the Prince Regent? I heard the prince has doted on your sister for years, not even glancing at his newlywed primary wife. That is the Prince Regent's love for my sister. We are imperial relatives. Who in the capital doesn't know that? Then it's simple. Everyone knows the Prince Regent is the son of the late Empress and the Emperor's favorite son. Who would dare not give him face? The prince's face is your face, isn't it? You mean? Oh, with just a word from Master Lin. To grant a small official position. Then the money would. The friend rubbed his fingers together and winked at Lin Wan. When Lin Wan heard this, his eyes lit up. Why hadn't he thought of this idea? He had wasted all these years for nothing. So, using the Prince Regent's name, Lin Wan actually did find a few wealthy, but uneducated sons of rich families, and arranged small official positions for them. Selling official titles has existed since ancient times. But smart families usually do it discreetly. And officials protect each other, so no one would betray anyone. But Lin Wan, aside from his connection to the prince, knew no one in the imperial court. I have been waiting for the day to pull in the net for a long time. One day during the morning court session, Censor Chan impeached the Prince Regent for allowing his concubine's family to sell government offices and titles. The emperor was furious and reprimanded him in open court. Xiao Yan Zhi was speechless and unable to defend himself. He ordered the arrest of Lin Wan, who was thrown into the imperial prison, sentenced to be executed in autumn. The concubine was also summoned to the palace by the Empress Dowager. At that time she thought she had finally beaten me. Little did she know, she was locked in a dark room as soon as she entered. The Empress Dowager's head maid told her about her brother's situation. After hearing the maid's words, Lin Wan Tang collapsed to the floor. She kept crying that she knew nothing, begging the Empress Dowager to free her and to spare her brother from the death penalty. But no matter how much she begged, and no matter how Xiao Yan Zhi pleaded outside the hall, the Empress Dowager turned a deaf ear. Xiao Yan Zhi knelt outside the hall for a day and a night, begging his imperial grandmother to release Wantong and to spare Wen Yuan's life. He promised to agree to any condition. Upon hearing this, the Empress Dowager finally released Lin Wan Tang from the dark room, after being locked away for 3 days. Lin Wan Tang's hair was a mess, and her face was deathly pale. Yet she still held herself up, kneeling properly before the Empress Dowager with her head bowed. The Empress Dowager closed her eyes, lightly fingering her prayer beads. I have only one condition to save your brother. No matter what it is. As long as it saves my brother, I will agree to it. Once the princess consort gives birth to a legitimate son, I will spare your brother's life. Lin Wan Tang looked up in shock, wanting to say something. But she bit her lip in the end, and lowered her head in tears. I obey your command. Yanji is outside the hall. Go and tell him yourself. Yes. Lin Wan Tang walked out of the hall and saw Xiao Yanji kneeling upright. Her tears instantly became uncontrollable. She threw herself into his arms. Yanji. Tang, what's wrong? Are you all right? The crying in his arms gradually stopped. It turned out Lin Wan Tang had fainted from crying. Xiao Yanji hurriedly carried her and rushed back to the manor. That led to the chaotic scene from a few days ago. Afterward, I don't know how she convinced him. But as for me, I didn't fight or grab. Without lifting a finger, I made Lin Wan Tang push Xiao Yanji into my bed with her own hands. I not only got what I wanted, but also gained Xiao Yanji's guilt. What do I have to be sad about? In his heart, I was someone with no desires. Yet I was dragged into this mess by him and Lin Wan Tang for no reason. This time he is the one who owes me. And Lin Wan Tang had no other way to save her brother. So she had to keep persuading Xiao Yanji to come to my room. Perhaps feeling he owed me, Xiao Yanji's attitude toward me gradually softened. Maybe it's because Lin Wan Tang has been so tearful lately, throwing tantrums every now and then, which affected his mood. After all, no one wants to face a miserable, complaining woman every single day. Besides, Xiao Yan Zhi works hard at court and has to spend hours coaxing her when he returns. Over time, anyone would get exhausted, especially a prince who grew up being pampered. Occasionally, Xiao Yan Zhi would join me for a meal. I am good at painting and he at poetry. Sometimes when I finished a painting, I'd ask him to write a poem for it when he visited. He would happily agree. Sometimes I'd set up difficult chess problems from books and discuss the solutions with him. When I saw he was troubled, I'd play the zither and brew tea for him. When we smiled at each other, we seemed like a perfect couple. But I knew this wasn't enough. I wasn't yet the first in his heart. And I, Gu Qing Ci, will only settle for first. 2 months later, the imperial doctor came again for a routine checkup. This time it seemed to take a long time. I couldn't help but feel anxious, asking if there was anything wrong with my health. The doctor stroked his gray beard, then stood and bowed, saying I was healthy, and that I was over a month pregnant. Hearing this, all the servants in the room knelt to offer their congratulations. Congratulations, Your Highness. Rise. This is indeed a joyous occasion. Malian, send word to the prince and to the palace. Everyone in the courtyard gets a reward. I was also genuinely happy. The double joy of fulfilling my wish and becoming a mother made my heart swell. At noon, rewards from the palace flowed into my courtyard like a stream. In the evening, Xiao Yan Zhi came to see me. The moment I saw him, I happily threw myself into his arms. Xiao Yan Zhi was stunned for a moment, but in the end he didn't push me away. He patted my back. Your Highness is going to be a father. I think he must have been happy too. Most men his age have several children. Yet he is already 22, and only now having his first. From now on, we have a child together. We are family. Qing Ci, thank you for your hard work. Will you stay with me and the baby tonight, Your Highness? Meeting his guilty gaze, I made a request that was incredibly simple for him to grant. That night he held me, his hand gently stroking my belly. He didn't leave halfway through. There are only Lin Wan Tang and I in the manor. Now she is counting on my child to be born safely, to save her brother's life. Naturally, she wouldn't dare do anything to me. But the Empress Dowager and the Emperor were extra cautious. The Empress Dowager sent her own maid to take care of my daily life. I knew this child was what they had longed for years. Xiao Yan Zhi was born to the first empress, but she died during a difficult labor. The emperor and the first empress grew up together. They were childhood sweethearts. Since she passed away, the emperor never appointed another empress and raised Xiao Yan Zhi by his side personally. Xiao Yan Zhi's first child is the first grandchild of the emperor and the first empress. That makes it special. And for the Empress Dowager, the first empress was her niece. Xiao Yan Zhi's child is her closest great-grandchild. The days of pregnancy were very pleasant for me, and pleasant days always fly by. On the mid-autumn night of the following year, the three of us shared a carriage home after the palace banquet. Xiao Yan Zhi sat in the center, resting with his eyes closed.
He sat opposite Lin Wan Tang.
Meeting her scrutinizing gaze, I gently stroked my belly. Sister Wan Tang, would you like to feel? This little guy has been quite active lately. He kicks me all the time. Saying that, I took her hand and placed it on my stomach. Lin Wan Tang struggled, trying to pull away. I followed her momentum and fell over, clutching my stomach. My stomach hurts so much. Your Highness, save me. Qing Ci, it's okay. Don't be afraid, I'm here. Don't blame Sister Wan Tang. She didn't mean it. No, I didn't push you. Wan Tang, you've changed. You've become just like those scheming women in the palace. Qing Ci is suffering like this just to save your brother. We both owe her. The child isn't even full term yet. When did you become so malicious? After shouting all that in one breath, Xiao Yan Zhi closed his eyes, seeming to regret his impulsive outburst. Your Highness, my stomach hurts. My skirt was stained with spots of blood. Xiao Yan Zhi looked at the blood on his hands, completely panicked. Hurry, get back to the manor faster. He roared at the driver outside. Fortunately, the delivery room and midwives had been prepared long ago. As soon as the carriage stopped, Xiao Yan Zhi carried me and rushed toward the delivery room. For the first time, he ignored Lin Wan Tang. Lin Wan Tang snapped out of it and followed closely behind us. In the room, I was sweating from the pain. The prolonged contractions left me weak, crying out unconsciously. I must bear the consequences of the seeds I sowed myself. The labor-inducing medicine I took had already taken effect. Even though I expected this and had made ample preparations, the pain of childbirth still nearly broke me. I don't know how long the pain lasted, but I regained a bit of consciousness. My pain must be felt by the father too. Only then will he cherish me. Your Highness.
I'm afraid he
won't make it. I softly called out to Xiao Yan Zhi. Qing Ci, don't talk nonsense. You're going to be fine. Xiao Yan Zhi's anxious voice reached my ears through the screen. Yan Zhi, don't worry. It's all right. In our village, some women labor for 2 days and nights. It's fine. Just endure it and it'll be over. Qing Ci is not a woman from your village. Besides, she's been in this much pain for 2 hours. She shouldn't have had to endure this pain. Everything she's suffering now is because of whom? My lord, it hurts so much. I might never see you again. Hearing my cries of pain once more, Xiao Yan Zhi finally ignored the servant's protests and rushed into the delivery room. He held my hand against his face. Qing Ci, hold on. We can see each other every day from now on. We still have a long, long future together. My lord, if there is a future. Can I call you husband from now on? You can. Of course you can. You can call me whatever you want. Husband. I weakly called out that name and closed my eyes. Qing Ci, wake up. I want you to live. I need you to live. Please give me a chance to make it up to you. Just then, the Empress Dowager arrived with the imperial physicians. They asked Xiao Yan Zhi to leave. I'm not leaving. I'm not going anywhere. I want to stay with her. She is my wife. The child in her womb is mine. I want to stay with them. In the outer room, Lin Wan Tang heard these words and could barely remain standing. She gripped the back of a chair tightly just to keep from falling. But at this moment, no one spared her a thought. After the physician took my pulse and applied acupuncture, I finally drifted back to consciousness. The nanny brought a slice of ginseng and told me to keep it in my mouth. The midwife cheered me on from the side. Princess, keep going. Hold on, I can see the head. I gritted my teeth. Xiao Yan Zhi held my hand tightly the whole time. The midwife gave calm, steady directions. Push, princess. Almost there, almost there. Just a little more effort. A loud cry of a baby rang out along with my weeping. I was finally released from that tearing pain. Princess. It's a little prince. Hearing Molan's words, I breathed a sigh of relief. I squeezed Xiao Yan Zhi's hand back. Husband, our child. I want to see our child. The wet nurse brought the baby and placed him by my side. Looking at the baby's wrinkled face, I couldn't help but cry. Xiao Yan Zhi wiped away my tears. You're a mother now. Why are you still crying like a child? He took the baby into his arms, wrapped his other arm around me, and gently patted my back. Be good. Get some rest first. I'll have the nurse take the baby to be cleaned. You can see him when you wake up and have more energy. As he patted my back, my eyelids grew heavy and I drifted off. When I woke up, it was already noon the next day. As soon as I opened my eyes, I saw the small couch by the window. Xiao Yan Zhi was holding the baby, rocking him gently. Seeing that I was awake, he brought the baby over to me. He reached out a hand to support me. Don't get up. I'll bring him to you. Looking at the baby's peaceful sleeping face, my eyes grew hot with tears. I leaned my head gently on Xiao Yan Zhi's shoulder. Husband, I never thought I'd see you and the baby again. Silly girl, you shouldn't cry during your recovery month. Aren't we both right here by your side? What is there to cry about? He stroked the top of my head. I quickly reached out to wipe my tears. These are tears of joy. I never imagined I could be this happy. When I looked down, I caught a glimpse of a bright red skirt by the door. In this household, besides that person, who else would dare to wear such a bold red? I reached out and wrapped my arms around Xiao Yan Zhi's neck, burying my head in the crook of his neck. From the angle of the doorway, it looked as if Xiao Yan Zhi was leaning down to kiss me. A moment later, that flash of red disappeared from the doorway. 3 days later was the baby's third-day bath ceremony. For the emperor's grandson's ceremony, an imperial decree personally named my son Xiao Mingrui. The name signifies brightness and auspiciousness. For a time, everyone in court was speculating about the emperor's hidden meaning. After the ceremony, Lin Wan Tang's brother was finally released from the imperial prison. However, he was banished back to his hometown, forbidden from ever entering the capital again. But with Lin Wan Tang's financial support, his life wouldn't be too difficult. Because this matter was settled, Lin Wan Tang regained her former lively and restless personality. She made a commotion in the manor all day long, climbing trees to pick fruit, and practicing her whip in the garden. She always had some new novelty to play with. Because Mingrui was born prematurely, I had exhausted a lot of my energy. I stayed in confinement for half a month longer than most women. During this month and a half, though Xiao Yan Zhi often visited me and the child, he spent more of his time with Lin Wan Tang. They seemed to have reconciled. But I knew that the events of the night I gave birth were like a needle driven into Lin Wan Tang's heart. It was a constant, painful irritation, and what I had to do was to drive that needle even deeper into her lungs and straight into her heart. After having Mingrue, I changed my habit of staying secluded. On warm afternoons, I would often take Mingrue for strolls around the manor. Occasionally, I would run into Lin Wan Tang. First, we ignored each other. Mingrue was still small. He spent most of the day sleeping and was rarely awake. He didn't seem particularly interesting yet. Lin Wan Tang never spared my Mingrue a single glance. Slowly, Mingrue's features began to develop. He looked like Xiao Yan Zhi, especially his peach blossom eyes, which were identical to Xiao Yan Zhi's. Looking at the little face that resembled his own, Xiao Yan Zhi's expression would always soften unconsciously. He began to visit my courtyard more and more frequently. Sometimes when Mingrue was sleeping, he would take him from the wet nurse's arms. He would hold him and quietly watch him sleep. Later, Mingrue learned to roll over. He started making babbling sounds. He became even more adorable. When I encountered Lin Wan Tang in the garden, I was always surrounded by a lively crowd. A group of people would be gathered around Mingrue, making him laugh. When Lin Wan Tang saw this from afar, she would always leave in a huff. Indeed, who wouldn't be angry seeing your lover have a child with someone else, visiting every day, and being unable to put the child down? Whenever Xiao Yanji returned from work, he always brought some new little toys for Mingrue to play with. One day, I specifically chose the time Xiao Yanji returned to play with Mingrue in the garden. Xiao Yanji held Mingrue, doting on him, using the new toy to make him laugh. Many servants nearby witnessed this scene. I knew that even if Lin Wan Tang didn't see it, she would certainly hear about it. After Xiao Yanji left, the wet nurse holding Mingrue said to me, "The prince truly dotes on the young heir. He comes to see him every day and always brings these novel toys we've never seen before. The prince must love the princess dearly to care so much for the child." She was a newcomer who had just joined the manor. She didn't know that there was a side consort Lin who held all the favor. She thought these words would please me. Hearing this, I smiled slightly. I didn't contradict her. I gave Emolan a meaningful look. The nurse is right. The prince's love for our young heir is his love for our princess. Yes. They say a rumor repeated often enough becomes the truth. It started as mere flattery from the servants, but as it spread, all the servants in the manor began saying the same thing. They whispered that the prince valued his heir so much because side consort Lin hadn't conceived in 6 years. They said the prince had grown tired of her. Others said the young heir was brilliant, and the princess was beautiful and kind. Who wouldn't love the greatest beauty in the capital? Rumors are a powerful force. I didn't intervene to stop them, so the servants discussed it even more fervently. I wanted these rumors to be known by everyone in the manor, including Lin Wan Tang. Lin Wan Tang had been acting out of character lately. Her restless, active figure was no longer seen in the manor because she had Xiao Yanji summon many physicians for her. She was constantly having her pulse taken and being prescribed medicine. She drank countless bowls of herbal tonics, but the imperial physician only said the consort is in good health. As for having no children, he said it's simply a matter of fate not yet arriving. I had Molan send a message to the young maid in his courtyard to whisper a few suggestions. Since the imperial physicians are out of options, there are many renowned gynecologists among the common folk. A folk remedy for fertility will surely help him relieve his worries. And sure enough, half a month later, I heard that in the consort's courtyard, they invited the famous Dr. Zhao from the east side of the city. Countless infertile women have been treated by him and found themselves pregnant shortly after. Dr. Zhao performed a pulse reading and consultation. "Your Highness, your body has accumulated cold for a long time. Your blood flow is obstructed, making it difficult to conceive. However, observing your pulse, There is nothing else wrong with your health. May I ask if you often consume cold or raw foods? Not at all. I never eat cold foods. That is strange. By all accounts, your constitution is strong. It shouldn't show signs of a cold uterus and blood deficiency. I will first prescribe some medicine to warm your uterus and regulate your cycle. We'll see how you recover. Very well. Thank you for your trouble, doctor. Lin Wan Tang raised her hand to call her personal maid, handing the prepared pulse cushion to Dr. Xiao. As her sleeve slid up, it revealed a red jade bracelet on her wrist. Dr. Xiao's hands froze as he took the cushion. He knitted his brows tightly. A strange fragrance seemed to drift past his nose. Dr. Xiao, is something the matter? Seeing Dr. Xiao's expression, Lin Wan Tang also became nervous. Forgive my intrusion, but could I see the bracelet on your wrist? Lin Wan Tang hesitated but took off the bracelet and handed it to Dr. Xiao. Is there something wrong with the bracelet? Something is wrong, very wrong. Ordinary red jade has no scent. But these beads emit a faint fragrance. I'm afraid this is no ordinary bracelet. I fear it is. Fear it is what? Dirt. Xiao, speak up. May I ask where this bracelet came from? It was a gift from the Empress Dowager when I entered the prince's manor. Your Highness, please act as if I was never here today. After saying that, he didn't even bow and hurried away as if he were escaping. The more one hides, the more suspicious it becomes. Lin Wan Tang immediately took off the red jade bracelet. She went to an inconspicuous shop, saying she wanted to pawn it, just to have someone see what was different about this jade. Yes, Your Highness. Go and return quickly. The maid hurried out. That night, word came that the consort had fallen ill. Xiao Yan Zhi went to see her, but instead the two had a huge argument. Inside the room, Lin Wan Tang tore the red jade bracelet apart. The beads fell with a pitter-patter. That Empress Dowager, that old hag actually harmed me like this. This isn't red jade at all. It's actually red musk beads that cause infertility. Tang, watch your words. Xiao Yan Zhi tightly covered Lin Wan Tang's mouth. Lin Wan Tang gave Xiao Yan Zhi a hard bite. Xiao Yan Zhi let go in pain. Xiao Yan Zhi. Do you love me? Lin Wan Tang gripped the lapels of Xiao Yan Zhi's robe. Tang, of course I love you. Then help me get revenge. I can never be a mother in this life. I want that old hag to pay with her life. Tang, you're crazy. That is my imperial grandmother. The one who has loved me most since I was a child. She ruined me. I don't care who she is. Lin Wan Tang's eyes were bloodshot, her gaze full of desolation. We will have children. As long as you take care of your health, it will be fine. Xiao Yan Zhi tried to be patient, wanting to hold her in his arms again. Unexpectedly, Lin Wan Tang suddenly pushed him away. Get out. If you won't help me, then get out. Xiao Yan Zhi didn't expect her to be so reckless. He stumbled back a few steps, his lower back hitting the corner of the table. You madwoman. You're being completely unreasonable. Xiao Yan Zhi braced himself to stand up, flicked his sleeves and stormed out the door. The Empress Dowager didn't want a woman of such low birth to give birth to a child of the direct bloodline. She had been plotting against Lin Wan Tang from the very beginning. This was the only treasure she had ever given Lin Wan Tang. And Lin Wan Tang had thought that it represented the Empress Dowager's acceptance of her. She wore those musk beads on her wrist at all times. She thought it showed the Empress Dowager's approval, not knowing it was cutting off her path to motherhood. The imperial physicians who performed her checkups knew from the start that it was a gift from the Empress Dowager. Naturally, they understood the Empress Dowager's intent. No one dared to expose the truth. But I wanted Lin Wan Tang to know. I wanted the needle in her heart to pierce a little deeper. Xiao Yan Zhi and Lin Wan Tang entered a cold war. They used to argue before, but they would usually make up within a day. Later, it slowly turned into 3 days, 10 days, a month. But this time, it has been 2 whole months since Xiao Yan Zhi visited Lin Wan Tang's courtyard. Lin Wan Tang didn't go looking for him either. Children always grow up so fast. Having passed his first birthday, Mingrui could already use his little legs to waddle around on his own. On this day, Xiao Yan Zhi and I took him for a walk by the lotus pond. Mingrui, slow down. Watch out for the slope ahead. Mingrui's little legs moved very fast. I followed closely behind him, fearing he might fall. Xiao Yan Zhi trailed far behind, smiling as he watched the 2 of us, one big and one small figure. Turning past a small grove, Mingrui suddenly stopped. It turned out Lin Wan Tang was swinging a whip ahead. The little fellow had never seen such a display. He babbled happily without stopping. When Lin Wan Tang saw us, she originally wanted to turn and leave. I called out to her, "Sister A Tang." Lin Wan Tang stopped in her tracks. She turned back to look at me. I walked up to her and whispered in her ear, "Is your brother doing well? The countryside is quite dull. Should I have the gambling den owner play a few more rounds with him?" "It was you. You harmed my brother." "It was me." "So what if it was me? What can you do to me?" Lin Wan Tang's grip on the whip tightened and tightened. She swung the whip toward me. I turned my body, letting my back take the blow. I instinctively pulled Mingrui into my arms. Fortunately, winter had arrived. The padded jacket I wore was very thick. When the whip struck my back, it only tore my outer garment. Fortunately, winter had arrived. The padded jacket I wore was very thick. When the whip struck my back, it only tore my outer garment. "Someone help!" I shouted loudly. Hearing the sound, Xiao Yan Zhi rushed over. "A Tang, stop!" But Lin Wan Tang acted as if she couldn't hear. She screamed while striking, "I'll kill you, you bitch!" She kept lashing the whip at me. Xiao Yan Zhi stepped forward to shield Mingrui and me. The whip went slightly off course, striking the back of his hand. It immediately tore the skin, and blood flowed out. Only when she saw blood did Lin Wan Tang suddenly calm down. The servant stepped forward to restrain her, but Xiao Yan Zhi fainted on the ground. The blood on the back of his hand gradually turned black. "Quickly, call the imperial physician. Take the consort back to her courtyard. We will deal with her once the prince wakes up." As the imperial physician arrived, the Empress Dowager followed. "How is the Prince Regent?" Reporting to the Empress Dowager, "The prince has been poisoned. Fortunately, the wound is small, and the dosage of the poison is not large. His life is not in danger. He will wake up shortly after taking the antidote. Then go quickly. The Prince Regent's health is paramount." The Empress Dowager sighed and sat down. That woman can no longer be kept. Imperial grandmother, the consort is, after all, the person the prince cherishes most. Let's wait for the prince to wake up before deciding her fate. The consort is, after all, the person the prince cherishes most. Let's wait for the prince to wake up before deciding her fate. I rubbed the Empress Dowager's back. You should return to the palace to rest first. Don't worry. I will handle things here. After a moment, the Empress Dowager nodded. She finally relented. She let her maid support her as she rose to return. Xiao Yanzhi didn't wake up until dawn the next day. I had been holding his hand without letting go. I woke up the moment he moved. Husband, how are you feeling?
I'm fine.
Are you and Mingrue okay? I shook my head. I tightened my grip on Xiao Yanzhi's hand. We're both fine. But you were poisoned. I was so worried about you. I choked up for a moment. Poisoned? Where did the poison come from? It was from Atang's whip. As I spoke, tears began to fall again. Husband, Wan Tang didn't do it on purpose. He loves you so much. How could he want to hurt you? Xiao Yanzhi remained silent for a long time. He wasn't trying to hurt me. He was clearly aiming for you and Mingrue, he said. He closed his eyes as if in disbelief. I never thought he could be so cold-blooded. Husband, the Empress Dowager already knows about this. I've managed to calm her for now. But someone has to be held accountable. Send him away to the manor in the countryside. Fine. I'll make the arrangements. Husband, you should rest first. I tucked the covers around Xiao Yanzhi and quietly stepped out. In Lin Wan Tang's courtyard, I ordered the servants to bind him and send him to the manor overnight. He'll never know, even in death, that I was the one who told the servant. In the courtyard, to put poison on the whip, the antidote was also prepared in advance. Even if the plan had failed, Xiao Yanzhi and I were never in any real danger. That day, inside my sachet, I had placed a powder that clouds the mind. It's harmless to those who are calm, but if someone who is angry smells it, they become even more furious and uncontrollable. I deliberately provoked his anger that day. That's why when Xiao Yanzhi scolded him, Lin Wan Tang turned a deaf ear. But now, that cleaning maid has already left the estate with the gold I gave her. All the evidence was already cleared away. While Xiao Yanzhi was unconscious, ignorant and malicious, jealous and unfilial, the Lin Wan Tang in Xiao Yanzhi's heart is now beyond recognition. The wedge has been driven deep. From now on, in Xiao Yanzhi's heart, he will never be special again. 1 month later, Xiao Yanzhi's health finally fully recovered. The manager from the manor came to report. The consort curses the Empress Dowager and the princess consort every day. Keep his mouth shut. Don't let him say another word of such insolence. The manager took his orders and left. Another month later, the manor manager returned to report. The consort has stopped cursing the Empress Dowager. This past month he's been saying what? Report truthfully. He says you are a heartless man, Prince, and that you and the princess consort are a pair of treacherous lovers. After saying this, the manager knelt straight on the ground. Xiao Yanzhi clenched his fists, veins popping on his hands. He slammed his fist heavily onto the desk. Make sure he never speaks again. Does the prince mean? Do exactly as you're thinking. In truth, what Lin Wan Tang actually said at the manor. How could Xiao Yanzhi ever know? Naturally, it was whatever the manager said it was. A few days later, I heard Lin Wan Tang was forced to drink a drug that made him mute. After being drugged, he refused to eat or drink. He went on a hunger strike for several days. Xiao Yanzhi simply said to let him be. He'll eat when he can't hold out any longer. One day, several months later, I was bringing ginseng soup to Xiao Yan Zhi's study when I saw the manor manager reporting to him again. I gestured to the servant at the door, signaling him not to disturb Xiao Yan Zhi. I stood under the corridor and heard the manager say, "A few days ago, the consort climbed a tree trying to scale the wall to escape. After being spotted by the guards, he fell in a panic. The doctor says he'll likely be bedridden for the rest of his life. There's no need to report on his matters anymore." Hearing this, I pretended I had just arrived and walked in. "Husband, manager," I called out clearly. "Husband." The manager bowed to us and withdrew. Only the two of us remained in the room. I placed the tea in front of Xiao Yan Zhi, walked behind him, placed my hands on his head, and gently massaged his temples. "Husband, I have some good news for you." I leaned close to Xiao Yan Zhi's ear and whispered softly, "You're going to be a father again." Upon hearing this, Xiao Yan Zhi pulled me onto his lap in one swift motion. "Really?" I rested my head against his chest. The imperial doctor said it's been 2 months. Qing Ci. I will treat you and the children well from now on. I'll never let you suffer any more grievances. Husband, I love you. I love you. I love you too. A smile slowly curled on my lips. I told you, the first place in my husband's heart can only be mine. From now on, this prince's estate will only have the 2 children I bore. Lin Wan Tang, the woman who broke her legs at the manor and was forced to become mute, will never return in this lifetime. If she wants to hate, let her. Hate the Empress Dowager who gave her the red coral beads. Hate the heartless prince. Hate me, the one who laughed last. But so what? In this world, favor never comes without a reason, and victory never happens by chance. From the first day I, Gu Qing Ci, stepped into this estate, I knew exactly what I wanted. What I wanted was never charity or pity, nor was it temporary favor. It was power I could hold in my hands and leverage to stabilize my family. Now I have it all. The spring scenery outside the window is bright. I cradled my growing belly, watching Xiao Yan Zhi hold Mingrui in the courtyard. The sunlight falling on the father and son felt warm. Your Highness, regarding the consort at the manor, have people serve her well. Don't let her die. I picked up my teacup and took a small sip. Living in suffering is more satisfying than a quick death. Yes, I withdrew my gaze and looked at myself in the mirror. Eyes full of smiles, composed and elegant. There was no trace left of the woman who suppressed her tears in the bridal chamber. No, that woman has always been there. It's just that she turned her tears into a blade long ago and forged her grievances into armor. Those seemingly passive retreats were every inch a step forward. Those displays of weakness before others were every bit a gathering of strength. This is the way of survival for the daughter of a noble house.